What is good? Daily Xander number 68 coming to you at 11:10 at night. Been a bit backlogged with doing my videos the past couple days, mainly because of running into the issue of memory on my phone and iPad and kind of having to maneuver around those. But also, like in many things in life, changing up where you put your priorities, and also I'd even say a little bit of procrastination, but nonetheless and regardless, I'm still getting my goal of daily vids in, whether it be uploading on a daily basis or recording on a daily basis. I am doing one or both of those two actions, so continue with that. Like I just said, this is 68, so I've done 68 of these so far. It's pretty tremendous, and it's just interesting to kind of look back as far as, I mean, I'm not doing a great ordeal of physical documentation visually wise, but just from my thoughts and how they kind of change over time, it's pretty interesting to see just what I've evolved to. It was a short amount of time as far as what I'm focused on and what's been sparking my interest. Over the weekend, I did a nice about 10.5-mile walk around the area that I live in to get more accustomed and aware, oriented wise, of where I'm living, and just have a better idea of the layout and stuff like that. So really interesting. That's one of the things I really like to do with an area I'm going to be living in for a while, is get familiar with the landscape. And a good way for me to do that personally would be walking around that area, just because I'm going at a slower pace than I would be with a car or driving wise. Driving wise, you have to focus on defensive driving. You have to be attentive to all these different stimuluses that are coming your way, or that could pose a threat, or you just got to be cautious. Whereas when you're walking, you're at a much slower pace. You can take in more information and really get a sense and a grounding of where you are better than you would driving. Not to say you can definitely pick up and orientate yourself, of course, from driving, but it's a bit different. You don't have as many things to be fully aware of at all times walking versus driving. So I definitely enjoyed that on my Christmas day. On top of that, it was probably in the 80s, the Christmas day, but I probably got rained on 3 or 4 times. It was sporadic rain showers. It probably lasted no longer than a couple minutes, so not that bad at all. Pretty interesting lately. I've been getting into learning more history-wise, as far as learning more about my name, Alexander. That stems from Alexander the Great, and just learning more about Alexander the Great himself. Right now, I'm listening to an audiobook, biography-wise, on Alexander the Great, and again, it's going to be kind of one-sided, and as far as where they're getting the stories from, these are stories or documentation from his side rather than other societies at the time documentation, and that's totally just, it makes sense. But regardless, it still gives me a good idea as far as who he was, what he accomplished, how he went about accomplishing it, and just more on his story. Pretty interesting to know that his career, militarily wise, and his accomplishments really started to flourish and actually take off when he hit the young age of 20, and for a period of 12 years he conquered a large portion of what would be the developed world back then. But when you compare the point in human history then to now. When you talk about development, it's leaps and bounds where we are now versus then. But back then, he conquered many different cities and civilizations and had a habit of calling areas or cities or civilizations that he conquered, naming it after himself, and a good majority of those were in the form of Alexandria. The most famous Alexandria of them all would be in Egypt. The city still exists today, Alexandria, Egypt. And I believe it's the second or third largest city in all of Egypt. But yeah, Alexander never lost one single military battle. I would say so far I've gotten through about 7 chapters on Alexander the Great audiobook that I'm listening to. As far as the chapters that go more in depth with certain battles, I find it kind of hard for me to listen into great depths and be able to retain it. But even so, I'm able to kind of go in and out and still grasp little tidbits. I'm sure I'll definitely, if not listen to this one again, listen to other ones to just get a better idea and kind of retain some more information on the man himself. Definitely an interesting childhood growing up. I found it interesting that his horse, his go-to, his favorite horse growing up, and the horse that he kind of tamed at a young age when it was looked upon that it would be almost impossible. Even the most experienced riders in the land that Alexander was living at the time weren't even thought capable of taming this horse. And Alexander did it, I believe, at the age of 16. At least that's what the evidence kind of points to. But I am trying to remember off the top of my head the horse's name. It's a pretty unique name, but it doesn't sound like the most attractive name on earth. What is it? Bucephalus, that's the name. Bucephalus. I'm pretty sure there's a meaning behind it. I just don't remember off the top of my head. But yeah, it played an important role in Alexander's early years when it came to military action, and it actually saving his life on at least one major occasion, if not maybe several others. But all in all, a very interesting man that walked the earth at one point, and just the way he conducted himself, and most of the time was always outnumbered in battle, but his military tactics would overcome and surpass much larger resources that he went up against, and he was able to conquer and come out the stronger group. So just expanding my knowledge history-wise also. And again, it just goes back to me gaining perspective, continually gaining perspective, whether that's going back several actually more than several hundred years, but a good portion of human history going back in time to get a grasp on it. Anyways, this has been the Daily Xander number 68. Good solid day. I'm going to bump it into Wednesday. I got a 4-day week as far as work-wise, and then 3 days off, so that's nice. Enjoying it. And yeah, I got to really make a habit squaring away my diet, and also getting back into the habit of working out. Still have yet to do that. Hopefully I do it this coming morning as far as going to the gym, but we'll see. That's what I'm aiming for. Will it happen? Who knows? That's the goal, though. The goal, I'm going to say it on camera right now, the goal is to go to the gym early in the morning. Let's make it happen. Come on, buddy. You got this. Let's go, champ. As always, peace, love, unity, and respect. Thank you for watching. Pleasure as always. This has been the Daily Xander number 68. Peace.